Let's try this again, folks. Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is April 10th, 2018. It's Tuesday. Take a look at space weather conditions. As I showed already once, apologize about the mic issue. Solar wind speeds are sitting at 554.7 kilometers per second with a density of 8. 0 sunspots today. That area that I showed this morning is still being circled, however, still not a sunspot. We are now 9 days in a row without a sunspot. I reported earlier the 6.2 earthquake in Nouvelle Chile. Also talking about a G1 class geomagnetic storm that was under a watch earlier today. We were sitting at a 4 on the KP this morning. Today it's now down to a 2. So as of right now, no signs of a geomagnetic storm coming our way, just increased solar wind speeds. Here we have our coronal hole that is now turning away from Earth, but yet we'll still see the effects from the weaker areas here that is now Earth-facing. But NOAA is not indicating of a G1 class or anything like that. Take a look at TSI numbers today. We are sitting at 1360.725. That's slightly up from our last reading of 1360.723, registered on April the 2nd, 2018. Today's was also registered on the 3rd of April. Take a look at some weather headlines today. Cincinnati, how often does it get spring snow? I've seen quite a bit of stories like this today. Let me go ahead and show you real quick. Here's another one. April snow adding up again. Weather Channel asking the question, when spring's last snow typically happens. But I wanted to bring this up because I almost feel like the question is, when does it end? And I'm reading this article, and instead of talking about the rarity of April, it just goes on to remind us, yeah, this is kind of normal. We see snow in Cincinnati all the way through May. The latest snowfall that we received in May, measurable, was May 6th, 1989. And the second time that happened was May 5th with 1.5 inches from 1897. So quite a big gap there between 89 and 97, almost 100 years in between the time that we saw snow in May the last time. Now, so far in April, 1.1 inches of snow. The record, I believe, for the Cincinnati area is 5 inches, and that has not happened. They also mention here in 1919 that snow stopped at February 11th, but in 1920, just a year later, they received a record-breaking 5.2 inches of snow in April. So, just to show you, it's a yin and yang, back and forth here. Taking a look at another headline here, April snow adds up again, showing totals here. This is in the, where area are we in? Well, this is Toledo, Ohio, so we go from southern Ohio to northern Ohio. And they also show an 89, May 7th, they got a snowfall. So there's 2 dates that line up so far. Cincinnati saw a May snow, and ironically, they're talking about May snow in Toledo on in 1989. Now, I think when you talk about Toledo snow in May and April, I'm not too impressed. That's northern part of Ohio, up there near Michigan. That's, to me, that's not like an unusual thing. But for Cincinnati to see snow in April and going into May, yeah, that's kind of a rare thing. The average last snowfall in spring in many locations. Let's talk about that once again. The question's being raised all over the internet. When's it going to stop snowing? We scoured the National Weather Service records to compile both the average date of final measurable, at least 0.1 inches of snow of the spring, also the date of the latest spring accumulating snow on record. In some locations, that record's latest date was in the summer. Here we have the latest snowfall, 1974, May 25th in Caribou, Maine. Here we have, that actually takes the cake right there, May 25th. And 74, 77, 83, 73, 89. So we see a lot of numbers here from the 77, 83, 74, 73. That era, that time period of cold weather is kind of being compared to right now what we're going through, or what's in the beginning of what we've seen. Here's some more totals. May 24th in Minneapolis. Again, not that amazing to see snow in May up that far, but June 13th, 1969, Rapid City, South Dakota, that was the latest snowfall that has ever fallen. And they have a few more dates here as well for June. Now, July 1983 at Yellowstone, we did have a blizzard-like situation 2 years ago at Yellowstone Park in July. So very rare things to see here, but 1983 is a year that I keep seeing popping back up from 89 to 83. They're asking here, baseball season's asking, what can we do about the cold weather and the snow? I actually talked to Mari about this not too long ago, and my idea would be to shorten the seasons. Start it in late April, end it by at least late August. That way we could play the playoffs through September and be done hopefully by the first week of October. I know there's a lot of folks out there that love the game of baseball, but let's be honest. Right now we have a 160 game schedule. As big as a baseball fan I am, I'd be okay with 145 games or 140. I think the baseball season's too long to begin with, so this might not be a bad idea and something that Major League Baseball might want to consider in the future when it comes to what kind of weather we're going to be facing from here out. This is one thing that we don't talk enough about, and that is this fast temperature swing. 75 degrees to 45 in one day in the Northeast is about to experience extreme weather whiplash. And I mention this not just because I'm living up here, but look at these temperatures. Look at the comparisons here. Syracuse, we're at 62 degrees. And in Kingston, how far away is that, Mari? Kingston from Syracuse, probably about an hour and a half.
I think it's mid-New York.
So, well, let's go even closer here. From Syracuse to Rochester, your temperature difference is going to be 24 degrees at the same time. So it's going to be 24 degrees colder in Rochester. And then just in, what is this, Binghamton? 74 degrees. Albany, New York, 70 degrees. So you see here, we're looking at 79 degrees in New York City, and less than 400 miles away, it'll be near freezing in Buffalo. Looking at what's going to happen for all intents and purposes, this weekend is going to be summer. Temperatures are going to hit 80 degrees as far north as Massachusetts. If pools were already open, it might be a nice weekend to catch some vitamin D. The sun will be out and the trees will be budding. The only way you'll know it's only April is the extreme air pollen concentration and all the allergies that go along with it. Thank you. But Jim Cantore put this today on Twitter, still on tap for a multi-hazard, multi-seasonal, multi-day storm, snow, and severe event. Let's say that really fast 5 times. Multi-hazard, multi-season, multi-day storm with snow and severe weather for Friday through Tuesday. So almost a 5-day event, folks, with blizzards, rounds of meat over the weekend, rain, snow, wind, linger into early next week. So blizzard rounds, out meet of the weekend, event over the weekend. Basically, we'll see conditions like blizzards. I'm not quite sure if we have any blizzard watches or warnings. I'll have to look at the updates. We're still a couple days away from this weather. The storm is going to be snowy from the Rockies to the Midwest, from Colorado to upper Michigan's upper peninsula. The storm will drop anywhere from a few inches to 2 feet. The heaviest snow looks like it will target a swath from eastern South Dakota to upper peninsula of Michigan in the mitten. Some model forecasts suggest totals will reach at least 20 inches in northern Wisconsin. April 10th, folks, and we're talking about 20 inches possible from Saturday through Tuesday. Amazing. Let's look at the temperature map for Saturday. This is where I told everyone we'd start to see a little bit of a warm-up here. Look at this. I'm excited here in western New York. Buffalo, we start to see some warm weather, but look at Tuesday. Back in the 30s for us. So Friday, nice and warm. Let's get the shorts on. Let's get the flip-flops out. And then by Sunday, we start to cool off. By the time we hit Monday night or Monday morning early, we're back in near freezing, and we do have rain and snow predicted in the area over the weekend. So, and I'll get to that here in a minute. Tornadoes spotted through Fort Lauderdale. Florida has had some crazy weather here lately. A funnel cloud was reported in the Port Everglades area of Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday afternoon around 3:35, according to the National Weather Service. A second tornado was located near Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport around 4:30 p.m. so about an hour apart. It moved east at 25 miles an hour, according to the Weather Service. This nasty weather is in keeping with a National Weather Service tornado warning alert was in effect till 4 p.m. Tuesday. A tornado warning for the Diana Beach area was issued until 5. Severe thunderstorm alert also in effect for southeast Broward County. But again, this part of the country needs the moisture. So other than the tornado threat, this is welcome news. Interesting stuff here. First, I wanted to go over some prices here in the market. Corn is actually down $1.50. Soybeans is up $1. I'm sorry, that is $3. Wheat is also up $1.25. Live cattle is up 78 cents. Feeder for cattle is up 38 cents. And lean hog is up. The butcher carcass is up 60 cents per hundredweight. So interesting to see rise in all of those in the market, except for corn is down. The cold Indiana spring persists, and rain and snow are keeping fields wet. This year, northwest Indiana has been hit hard with flooding and more severely than the past. The effects are being felt from South Bend down to western state line along the Kankakee River. Local farmers and lawmakers, including Law State Senator Rick Niemeyer, it's probably Niemeyer, Rick Niemeyer, met last week to highlight this problem. Everybody was concerned about flooding. I remember earlier in the winter, I think around February, late January, when we started seeing the ice jam floods everywhere. And this was an area that, especially in the South Bend area, I remember them referring to this as a 500-year flood event. So now we're starting to see the effects of the flooding that we had back this winter. This continues as we are going to continue to see tons of moisture in the Midwest, and I'll get to that here in just a second. Deadly floods and landslides hit West Java, Indonesia. Heavy rainfall caused landslides and caused the Sirsira River to overflow. At least 3 sub-districts, 3 separate districts were hit by floods. An elderly woman was killed, unfortunately, swept away by the floodwaters. Dozens of motorcycles and cars were swept away as well. The road that connects Bogor and Cianjur, West Java, was damaged, hampering access to a number of villages affected by the floods. And here are some pictures of the area during the event. Total disaster here with the landslides. Looks like a very remote area. However, that doesn't mean this makes it easy on these folks out here. It just makes it that much harder to rebuild and get things going again. Supplies are not easily accessed right now. And let's check out here. I want to show some pictures off. I'm getting ready to cover some storm damage from Auckland following high winds. The gusts that struck Auckland were equivalent of a Category 2 cyclone and caused widespread damage. Storm is wreaking havoc across the country, bringing high winds, rain, and tornadoes to the North Island and dumping snow to the South Island. Here's some photos from the storm. And down tree limbs, uprooted trees. That's much like most of the situation here in the United States. The ground is heavily saturated. High winds will do this. Here's a structure that's totally mangled here. And the damage is just widespread and very expensive. Tons of roof damage, home damage, you name it. More uprooted trees. Let's see if we can get some more stats here from the watchers. Snow has been reported to have settled as low as 300 meters, that's 900 feet, and 980 feet over the east of the South Island, Tuesday morning local time. As the low moves to the east of the country tonight, snow will spread to the North Island, according to New Zealand Met Service. Outside of the snow, a burst of strong winds and heavy rain has also affected many regions of the North Island. This period of intense weather is associated with an active trough preceding the low that is now moving east over Bay of Plenty and Hawkeye's Bay as well. So Bay of Plenty and Hawkeye's Bay. A total of approximately 30,000 lightning strikes have been detected over the North Island so far today alone. And I'm sure that number has gone up if this was an ongoing storm. It says here more than 12,000 homes without power during the storm. Gusts up to 76 miles an hour were also recorded over Westport. More image from Twitter. video. Auckland was hit by wind gusts of 81 miles an hour that shut down the airport and toppled trees and left up to 15,000 homes without power. Trees were down all over Auckland, New Zealand. One fell on a car in North Road in the Morningside, trapping a woman in the vehicle. She was taken to the hospital with moderate injuries. Nothing serious, so good news there. I guess the silver lining in most of the headlines that I'm reading today is that we're not seeing any kind of major casualties. I do believe I reported a woman had lost her life. Other than that, that was the only casualty that I've seen today in all of these pictures of this extreme weather. None of it looks good as well. So that is the silver lining, is that the injuries and deaths were kept to a minimum. However, the damage was not. Let's take a look at our weather report real quick. I want to say hi to my producer, Mari. Hello, Mari.
Hello.
I want to thank you very much today for these amazing videos that you put out earlier today. Now, I know a lot of you have probably watched these two videos and say, I cannot read that fast. We are not trying to provide that information in the video. The links are in the description. The point is, of these two videos, we have historical data in one and we have modern data in the other. And every single chart that we represent in these videos show cooling. So I think that the point of this series that Mari produced today was it's really getting to the point now where we don't have to sit here and explain to everyone how it really is cooling out and not warming, because it's graphs like these, it's videos like these. Mari put all the links in the description for you guys to check out for yourself if you want to verify these for yourself. The links are in the description of the two videos. But Mari, thank you very much. I really appreciate it when you put these educational pieces together, because this video will never go away. It's always going to be in our library. People can reference this, and it's a good way to find these charts, because I didn't even know half of these charts were even in existence until you made this video today and showed me. So again, hard work from you, like always. I really appreciate what you do for this channel and how you're trying to create a collective learning center, basically, here at the Grand Solar Minimum channel.
Well, let me grab the mic, because you know everyone has an opinion about something here. Hi, people. With the video that I did, actually the two videos I did, the people want the speed, but or they wanted it slowed down, more explaining it. I can't talk today, Jake. I warned you I wouldn't be able to talk today. Anyway, the point of the video is, yeah, those charts are whipping by. My point is that there is a lot of data out there, and to take a look at the links in the description and take your time absorbing what's out there, because it's insane how hot the debate is. And to me, once you sift through the data, I just find it ironic that people who agree with natural cycles or agree that we're going into a cooling phase, we're being called deniers. I want to know what we're denying, Jake.
Well, you know, like I said, I don't get caught up in that anymore. People who want to say we're deniers, we do nothing but show scientific facts here on this channel. The days of convincing are over for me. As far as I'm concerned, the rest of this time this channel is here. We're going to provide content for you people to learn about this, what's happening, what's going to happen, and how we're going to adapt and how we're going to have solutions for this, and not just sit here and say, oh my God, the weather's terrible, what are we going to do? So for all those out there who like to leave comments that may think that is disturbing the process here, it's not. Again, we're not here to debate this. I think Mari and I do a really good job at showing the facts, and the fact is that we are cooling. And I want someone to please take a look at those graphs. Show me how we're misreading these. Show me how we're denying climate change. The only thing we're denying is man-made global warming, and that's it. Everything else we're not denying. We don't deny climate change. Climate change is natural. It cools and it warms. So, but well said, Mari. Like I said, the videos were not meant to everyone absorb the information. It was kind of like an overwhelming video, like, look at all of this evidence that's out there to look at. And like I said, we have the links in the description of the video. Take a look at those links to verify those sources. All right, let's get into the weather report. Taking a look here at the tropical tidbits, we've got moisture moving in and out. Snow chances start up really I would say around Friday the 13th, while we're enjoying this subtropical weather, that's what I'm going to call it for the next few days of the weekend. After that goes away, we do get a cold front that pushes this next system through on Saturday, and this is the big storm in my opinion. They're predicting a lot of rainfall in the south. Look at that right here in take a look. Oh, my circle's gone, never mind. But if you look at Louisiana, Arkansas, heavy rain. Mississippi, I'm sure we'll see it on the next day as we scroll through to Sunday. Yep, that heavy precipitation moves further east, drowns even western Texas. I'm sorry, western Tennessee. Make sure we got that for everybody to see the southern part of the map. All right, we're good. And again, like I said, snow in the northern tier. Now I'm hearing some snowfall amounts, and I'm convinced why they're saying that. But all the way through Monday, we see moderate to heavy snow in parts of northern Wisconsin and Minnesota. And this is the areas where they're thinking we might see up to 20 inches by Monday, as we see moderate to heavy snow throughout Friday and Saturday, finally starting to lighten up a little bit by Sunday morning, but getting heavier into the Great Lakes, into the upper peninsula of Michigan. Meanwhile, the South and the Gulf continues to get pounded with rain. Alabama, it's your turn on Sunday. Georgia, hold on, you're next. And this system kind of stalls out a little bit, slows down, takes a little bit more time to exit the East Coast. And finally, by midday Monday, we are seeing the South starting to see some clearing, finally, as this heavy precipitation moves off. But what a mess up here in the Northeast. Snow on the backside of this. So Michigan, you're going to be looking at snowfall on Monday. Nothing heavy, maybe 1 to 3 inches, but it won't stick around very long just because of the angle of the sun. But still, we're cold enough once again after having a decent weekend in the east and northeast, where we're going to see temperatures in the 60s. It will be cold enough by Monday afternoon, April 16th, for that rain to change over to snow showers by early Tuesday morning. Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and don't forget here in the Northwest, tons of snow in Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, Nevada, and even into the Sierra Nevada, Northern California. And this is Tuesday, April 17th. System is trying to make its way off the coast by late day Tuesday. Lingering lake effect snows for western New York, most of New York, as we see our next system across the northern tier. Once again, North Dakota, Montana, and parts of Wyoming are getting snow, heavy to moderate snow, on that Wednesday. And that system will slide east. It'll scrape by Michigan, giving some moisture to the northeast, but all in the form of rain as of Thursday, April 19th. But look out, Friday, 4/20. Here in western New York, we will see lake effect snow chances. Also, western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, northeast Ohio, and most of Michigan in the northern part and the eastern part of Michigan, you will also see snow chances. Friday, 4/20, also we will see more blue than green, unfortunately. It is April, and we should be seeing a lot more green on the map, especially on Friday. However, as Friday moves out, we see another system across the middle of the country developing. Heavy rain in the plain states with snow on the northern side of this. Once again, April 20th into the 21st. Still snow on the backside of this as it moves across the country. Hopefully it moves into some warmer air, which it looks like it does. And the northeast and the south gets pounded with more rain, as another system is right behind that on the 24th. And you, of course, see the pattern. Nothing has changed about the snow forecast. We still see a slight chance of snow in Colorado and, of course, in Canada. Other than that, we're hoping April 26th we don't see any more of the blue on here when the next GFS run comes out. But I can't make any promises. I thought for sure after April 15th we were going to start seeing some spring weather, and I was right, but it gets cold again. So, unfortunately, Old Man Winter is still trying to hang on to this ridiculous weather that we're seeing all over the country and really the world. But here in the United States, we've seen some funky weather. And I want to pause it here just to enjoy this sight. Just cherish it while you can, because after that, after the weekend, we start to see cooler temperatures move into the region. Once again, areas that heated up in the 50s and 60s, you're back into the 30s and 20s. Ohio, back into the 20s. Northern Kentucky, even in the 20s. So for April 17th and to be in the 20-degree mark, hopefully this is a sign that we are almost done with winter. But I see a trend here in the east and the south, and that is we are looking at this warm pocket of air finally trying to invade most of the country by the end of the month. But we're still looking at nighttime lows in the 20s and 30s. And I'll take us all the way up to the end of the month here where this run stops. That looks promising. That's probably the best I've seen this temperature map, well, since last season. So with that being said, we just got to hang in there a little bit longer, guys. Those of you who have gardens, I know you're dying to get out there and get some work done. Some of you probably are getting your gardens planted right now. Enjoy it while you can. If you do have dry weather, we envy you. But let's hope that we can get spring started. I don't want to see any May snow showers. I know that the mainstream media, it seemed like to me, did a good job of lining up all of these stories that try to tell everybody, hey, snow in April and May is not that unusual. I'm going to go ahead and beg to differ. I know living here in Northeast North America, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're talking about Iowa and parts of Wisconsin possibly getting 20 inches of snow, I mean, again, I'm okay with snow in Wisconsin in April, but 20 inches? All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Hello to everyone out there at regionxradio.com. Guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow for our other update at 7:30 p.m. We'll talk soon.